just flick this over. I'm hearing reports from Lebanon, reliable sources in Lebanon, that a well-known Muslim YouTuber here in England is actually an MI6 agent or some kind of MI5 agent or a government agent, and you ain't gonna like it because he's a popular one here. His name is he's been given a platform on Piers Morgan's show. He's been given platform on that child trafficker brothers, the Tates. He's been given platform on YouTube to produce YouTube, and he's got over 500,000 followers, probably a bit more. His name is Muhammad Hijab. He's an Egyptian. He goes around spreading Islam or trying to influence the Muslim community out here in London, in England. But he was debunked by a Lebanese journalist, a reliable Lebanese journalist sources saying that he's an agent. And this agent, or so we're told, and when I say reliable, yeah, he's a speaker on the world's biggest spaces platform on social media, Twitter. His name is Nasrallah. Look him up. It's nothing to do with Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah. I'm talking about a journalist here who happens to have the name of Nasrallah. Now, if our Muslim Lebanese anti-Zionist journalists are claiming that Muhammad Hijab is an agent for MI6 or something like that, or an asset or government asset, then I fucking believe him. Then I believe him. And on that note, a former Press TV journalist, whose name was Roshan, was actually here. Maurice Herman used to live here, the journalist that interviewed me, anti-Zionist journalists, used to live here before he went out to Cambodia and got killed mysteriously. Where was I before I dithered? Yeah, Roshan, who's the owner of 5 Pillars, who himself was implicated in cases after he left what was it, Press TV. That's right, he was a commentator on Press TV, weren't he? After he left, he was involved in a big court case. He was in big shit with the old Bill, were after him for something or another, and then we never heard of him again. And all of a sudden now he owns 5 Pillars, or is a founder or one of the founders of 5 Pillars. I'm told, or I'm led to believe, that 5 Pillars, or so it said it on Piers Morgan's show, is apparently Europe's largest news outlet. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. But what I do know is Roshan has been compromised by the government. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been elevated to where he is right now. And that is it. Now, staying on the same subject of these agents and double agents and these Zionist-backed supporters, the guy called Robert Carter, who is also a Press TV journalist, he no longer works for them now. He's working for 5 Pillars. Now, this is the cunt who reported me to the police, and I can't talk much about it until the case is over, but I intend to debunk it after it's finished. After it's finished, I intend to expose these individuals who I've spoken about before, this case that I've got on now, who I've spoken about before. And look, this is a big conversation. I'm kind of just going slow now about whether I should continue, because there needs to be background to what I'm talking about. and for me to just explain it just like this, hey nilly dilly, without giving you the foundations of my findings, it's not going to come through correctly and be expressed correctly, or even received correctly for that matter. And especially where I am a person where I am not backed by any government, I'm not part of any movement, I'm not part of any political anything whatsoever. I speak totally and utterly from a personal capacity as a British Lebanese Londoner living in Islington since 1973. I believe that my case is larger than what is being shown or what is being said. Yeah, there are things which CID don't know, and I will be if I can't hire a lawyer, I'll fucking represent my and I'll represent myself. Fuck you, members of the bar who can't do a job out of your heart. Fuck you who signed oath and breach oath in the bar system. I debunked you years ago. I debunked your Muslim lawyers swearing on a Bible instead of a Quran in hybrid magistrates. I've already debunked that. Yeah, I've already debunked the network of vulture legal aid lawyers in England who go around picking and choosing what they want to do. And now that we are in a sectarian country, which you all have seen it on front pages, now that we are in a sectarian state, yeah, now if you want a lawyer, yeah, and you are an anti-Zionist and you don't want a Jew representing you, you have to look up the signed petition of the Gaza lawyers and barristers and ministers and so on. You have to look up that list there where all the pro-Palestine signed lawyers, barristers, judges and so on. You have to look up that list there as opposed to the list where all the lawyers in this country and so on who signed pro-Israel. So if you want your case to be successful, you got to start being sectarian like them, or you got to start approaching it from a sectarian angle. Because I've had too many Jewish lawyers make decisions in corridors of courts for me to be satisfied with the British judicial system. And I'm here to tell you, as a British Lebanese anti-Zionist, yeah, the original British Lebanese account that I got even before the British Lebanese embassy could fathom it or think of the Twitter account itself, now suspended for my outspokenness. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, Mohammed Hijab, I'm led to believe by sources I've given out already, is a agent of the UK, and this is the same man who said that he doesn't support Bashar al-Assad, he doesn't support Syria, yeah? So if you don't support Assad, yeah, here I'm telling you right now, if you don't support Syria and Assad, then you support Israel, and that is it. There is no definition in defining the difference between the two. There is a clear distinction. Either you are with the Zionist or you're against the Zionist, and Mohammed Hijab is with the Zionist. And on that note, I will be exposing both 5 pillars. I can't talk about one of them, which is Robert Carter, yeah? But this is the man that got me arrested, swatted me, got me arrested days after my dad died, and I will be seeking accountability. I'm suffering right now. I can't leave the country right now to go and bring my mum back from Lebanon because she's in a wheelchair with a fractured spine in a highly volatile area, because I've got a court case that I've got to see to because of some Jewish MP who thinks she could punish us Muslims here in London. She thinks she could transport, yeah, okay.
Sorry, the bus terminal.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, wonder whether that had anything to do with me. Probably not. But does that bus say that? Does the bus say that it's stopping here? Oh gosh, I missed it and didn't even notice it. Yeah. So I'll be exposing Five Pillars News, yeah, calling yourself Islam, calling themselves Islam, or I should say, Muslims and representing us Muslims. I don't think they are. When they get given a platform on the Rupert Murdoch #1 platform of what's his name again, Piers Morgan, yeah, right, fuck off, anti-Zionists. I don't believe you. I don't believe most of you who appeared. Let me flip this over. Most of you who appeared, most of the people, I should say, who appeared on Piers Morgan, yeah, you are part of the New World Order. You've been given platform because you are part of the New World Order. That is who you are. So whether you're the alleged ambassador of Palestine, apparently we've got an ambassador of Palestine here in London, yeah? Since when? Since who elected this geezer? Who elected this man? Even his name doesn't sound Muslim. And let's face it, the majority of Palestine are Muslims. Yeah, so who is this man? Who appointed him? Yeah, because he wasn't elected. He was selected, just like Keir Starmer was. And what was Keir Starmer doing? Let me just make this very clear here, yeah? What was Keir Starmer doing in Palestine when Shireen Abu Akleh was murdered on that day? Yeah, the sources that I've got, yeah, is no other than his own slime bag sources, the Novara Media, who announced, yeah, that Keir Starmer was in Palestine, or Israel, if you want to call it Israel, at the time of Shireen Abu Akleh assassinated. What was that? Why was that? Why was it so conveniently a coincidence for Keir Starmer to be in Israel when they were assassinating a journalist? Yeah? Why? I don't know. But you gotta ask yourself, why? Bro, I nearly got hit by that bus with the water. Yeah, what is it? Some kind of ritual? That, oh yeah, if you kill a journalist, then you could become a prime minister? Is that the deal? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm inquisitive like you, like anyone. And let's face it, Novara Media, yeah, they are the way they word their talking, the way they talk, the way they describe matters. They are one of the biggest biggest Zionist channels in Islam, certainly the biggest in Islam, but in the country. Yeah, Mr. Walker, or whatever his name is, the presenter. Yeah, the who was celebrating when Netanyahu won the election. He was celebrating and getting drunk so much that he couldn't give a fucking toss about you lot, his audience, or his audience. Yeah, he got someone else to cover, and then that someone else who covered for him said that Mr. Walker couldn't make it today because he was celebrating, or something like, he was celebrating the elections. You have to be some sick, demented, fucked person who's taken too many drugs in his lifetime to have any more brain cells left in your head to be celebrating about a genocidal leader, mass killer. It's the first video that I actually go into talking about Palestine in this way. And I don't really want to do that because I've got a court case coming up. And whatever I say, yeah, will be used and twisted by government, used and twisted as they do. Nothing on my criminal record, yeah, which I never had to declare until the eviction. I never had a record to declare, a criminal record to declare before my eviction. And I have never my record, if someone pulls out my record and they go down the list, yeah, nothing there has been contested. Nothing. Nothing. Because you can't get a lawyer in this country. Those who say, oh yeah, you lot got a free lawyer. Yeah? How about I try tomorrow? Stay tuned here tomorrow. I'm going to do a deal with you, public here. Right? I'll do a deal with you. I'll go live tomorrow. I'm not sure how I'm going to have to silence the bits where I have to give my personal information. But I'm going to go live tomorrow. There's a park here. Sometimes it has festivals and that. And I'll show you what it's like to ring up a lawyer and ask him to do a case. I've done them before. I've done it even to a Queen's Council. You try look at King's Council now, isn't it? You try looking at the King's Council list. Look at it. Pick out the names. Look at the names. Try and spot the Arab, the fucking Muslim name. Try and spot the Muslim name. Try and spot it. Try and spot it. Do you understand? Do you understand when you lot out in Lebanon and say, oh yeah, you lot get benefits, you lot get this and you lot get that. We pay our fucking taxes. We pay our fucking taxes. Over 25% of our wages go to taxes. We pay VAT on almost everything that we buy here. Value added tax. When money goes into your account, that gets taxed. Yeah. You know, it's got to the stage where now what I'm thinking is, now that the government, they want to bring in army duty. All you foreigners, yeah, all you people who think, yeah, you're British citizens, but you're a foreigner, you're the first person to go out on the fucking front line. You're the first person that they're going to send to the front line, yeah, to fight for your against your country. That's the way I see it. And I'm going to Lebanon pretty soon, and I don't doubt for one minute that they're going to give me problems coming back. I've got a British passport. I've been here since 1973. Yeah, this is my British bread and butter. This is where I lived all my life. I don't think you could count the amount of times that I've been to Lebanon on one pair of hands. I don't think you can count that. But I do believe, yeah, I've received a threat, yeah, and I've made that threat public on Twitter, of someone who indirectly sent that threat, and she's a Jew as well, and she's the one that, because I said Jewish power, killed King Robbo, John Robertson, my school classmate. King Robbo, you know King Robbo? Banksy became famous off of the name of King Robbo. I believe that article that I sent on my Facebook page when it had happened, when this woman here, who, well, she's a woman, she, he, they, whatever you want to call her, she's a supporter of LGBT, whatever they are, that terrorist organisation. And I've just declared it a terrorist organisation. Banana tree in London, is that right? There's a banana tree in London. These are the bananas. There's another banana tree here. Gosh. You would believe that, isn't it? Banana tree in London. So maybe I can So when I go to Lebanon, I might have some problems coming back. And I might have some problems going there as well. Because let's face it, no politicians out there like to be called a cunt. We better get used to Cockney speaking Londoners, yeah? This is my mother tongue. I call this my mother tongue. I think English translates to Arabic. Really pissed off today because I was rejected by another lawyer. Silly bitch who's got a flag of Palestine behind her office. First time I ever see a lawyer who's actually got that. But the moment I received a call from Babda Palace. The moment I mentioned it. You listening, Rami Mortada, Ambassador Rami Mortada? The moment I mentioned it, the housing matter that I went there for her to help me, yeah, wasn't going to help me anymore. You understand? Or are you stupid? Public, dear public. Not the public. I was directed now at Rami Mortada. Because you've got to be stupid if you want to take the liberty to breach the protocols, which I know that are there for me to defend and protect us. Because you're bounded by them. The government and the United Nations have bounded you by embassy protocols. Why the fuck is a Jew calling the police, a Jewish MP, calling the police to have me arrested for an alleged harassment charge, which was dropped? Yeah? And that harassment charge was a tweet that didn't violate any terms of X or Twitter at the time. No, it never. It's just a racist, Jewish bitch. That's what she is. She's a racist Jewish bitch who hates us Muslims. She actually hates us Muslims. Yeah, she's a Muslim hater. And she had her right honourable status stripped from her for being a racist. And she is the most hated woman, not just... When I say hated woman, politician is the right word. She is the most hated politician in England. You only have to sit down and micromanage the Twitter timeline when she comes on the question time, using her hashtag, seeing the feedback that people send, reading all, and it's so easy to debunk. She's got a big army of electric army, social media army, and they will, if they see a comment that criticised her or what she'd done, there are Twitter accounts there to back her up, to defend her. There are Twitter accounts that are owned by one person, but he owns several Twitter accounts, and he gets a few quid, or she gets a few quid part-time, just to tidy up the timeline a little bit, to give a little balance of, Emily is the best person in the world. I've debunked it in front of the public. I've debunked it on social media. And it's only a matter of time before I up the ante on social media and start to bring up all my case properly, my full case properly. Yeah, from beginning to end, where I'll sit down there for 3-4 hours and talk to you, the public, breaking down everything that had happened. What the fuck is going on there? Something's going on. Oh, Levant Mesa Grill. Hello, brother. New place? Where's you from? Turkish place, Turkish food, yeah? Gotcha, lovely. Yeah, I think now what I'm confronted with is finding a lawyer and saying it's private work, money, paying for it. There's another person who had complaints in Islington, and that person, they had housing repairs complaints. He was sent to a mental health hospital for the first time in their life. Who is that person? If you live in Islington and you complained to British MP Emily Thornberry about repairs or housing matters, you've been sent to a mental health hospital, detained for it under Section 2 of the Mental Health Act, 1983 or whatever it is. 82, 83, I can't remember. Yeah? Contact me. I urge you to contact me. I'll pay for your expenses to come and meet me. Because there's some people who blew the whistle about it. And those people are officials. When I say officials, they are professionals who told me. Because they could see me doing 17 days hunger strike in front of them. No one could possibly have diagnosed me. It's impossible to have diagnosed me when they detained me. Because I know what a psychiatrist is supposed to do. I also know that the reports written by an 18-year-old girl, she wrote those reports about me. Why the fuck is an 18-year-old girl writing reports in a mental health hospital? Why? Why is an 18-year-old girl writing a medical report? Yeah? What, is she fucking the doctor? Yeah? What is an 18-year-old girl doing working in a mental health hospital and being left to manage the fucking mental health hospital? You heard that right. We're talking about an 18-year-old girl managing a whole high category mental health hospital. On that weekend that she was managing, I had to stop fights in there. Also, one person cracked his skull on the floor because of some racist worker, racist person that they bring in who look like their health has come off some fucking 20-foot container. They got a job at temping, working in a mental health hospital, a private mental health hospital. See, my MP made sure she sent me to a private mental health hospital, not the NHS. No, it wasn't good enough because the NHS, they're a bit more transparent, whereas a private mental health hospital, they can keep things private. So a medical nurse, a mental health nurse, blows a whistle and tells me my MP done the same thing to another person. I'm presenting to you breaking news. I've said it before, I'm continuing to say it again, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want your children to be sent under the care of that bitch or Huntercombe Hospital, which is where I was detained in Roehampton. You had other medical nurse called me a political victim. Nurse, this is a nurse who's qualified with mental health. That he qualified, the second person that I'm talking about, that told me, you're a political victim. This is him telling me this. So I have to tell the public. Because the lawyer that I was forced to employ for the first time in my life was a specialist lawyer. Yeah, and I had to pick one of their ones that they give. And that was weeks after I'd been arrested, detained, and sent to a mental health hospital, where I was continuously, from the day one that I was arrested, 4 days, 3 nights in a police cell, till I was sent to the high category detention on hunger strike. So I got into it a little bit here about a few things. And watch your space here, because I'm going to start after this. After this court case finishes, I'm going to be exposing all the cunts. Their names are going to be up on social media. I'll be discussing about them and exposing them. And if police try to write anything that breaches me telling the public, that's right, I wanted to say to you, this mental health lawyer, who is the first time I've had to force to employ or to do the work for me, legal aid obviously, she says to me, and I'm quoting to you what she says to me, quote, Sam, I urge you to inform the public of your findings, unquote. I've told you before, I've said it before, I'm going to repeat it again. So when a lawyer tells you that, think about it, check my podcasts, I've already discussed this. My podcasts are in a bit of a disguise, or when I say disguise, I don't mean them to be in a disguise when I talk about my presidential case and my hunger strike. I go on a podcast, I talk about giving out the tips or whatever it is I'm discussing, and I also have a little discussion about matters which involve my presidential case. That's how I do it. So when you see my podcast, don't just think they're just for tips. I'm either talking about King Robbo, who was murdered. King Robbo was murdered, and shame on you, Team Robbo. Shame on you, Team Robbo. You wasn't able to debunk what the fuck happened. Yeah, you wasn't able to debunk it. Yeah, I received information from a son of a former MI6 agent. Yeah, son of a former MI6 agent, and George Galloway we used to get CC'd by this guy. Yeah, his Saudi bodyguard. His name is Mark Young. Read his book. It's called Saudi Bodyguard. And he was exactly that. He was a bodyguard to the princes of the Gulf in Saudi Arabia and other parts of the Gulf. Yeah. He DMs me and tells me he thinks King Robbo was murdered. So I forward that DM to Chris Dorsey, who used to be a commentator on Press TV. So I photocopied it, print screened it and forwarded it. So no one can call me a liar. Just like I recorded the phone call that I got from the president's office. Twin Towers. Between the Twin Towers. So you see, very difficult to find a lawyer. If I don't find a lawyer, I'm not scared. I'll stand in front of the judge and represent myself. I'm confident enough, just like I'm confident to come on social media here and put my face out there to tell you what happened to me. To tell you that British MP Emily Thornberry, she's not fit to work with the public. And on that note, I'm terminating school.